she's interested in joining the podcast as well. How does it feel to talk as a baby?
To talk as a baby. My boyfriend talks of sometimes he talks always Luganda to her, and then I'm like confused. I'm like, oh, can she understand this? But of course she will because I speak Dutch to her as well.
You can speak in German. I can speak in Italian.
Ooh.
Mirta, you can speak Greek, and then she can pick the favorites.
Yeah.
So welcome everybody to a new exciting episode of the Connected by Language podcast, the show that finds the most dedicated language learners out there and tries to learn from their craft. I'm your host Michele, and I'm joined by my co-host
Michelle.
So, for the people that are joining in for the first time, I think it would be very nice if we can kind of give us a little bit of a introduction on who we are and what languages do we speak.
Yes, so I am Michelle from Germany. I speak German, English, French, and Spanish, and a little bit of Brazilian Portuguese too.
Ooh, nice.
And I work as a language education specialist at Tandem.
Ooh, and what is Tandem?
So, Tandem is a language exchange app where you can exchange languages with people from all over the world, either in one on one conversations or in groups, like in our language parties.
That sounds fantastic. And Tandem supports over 300 different languages. So no matter what type of objective you're looking for, if you're looking for something a little bit more specific about training or you want to just make a couple of friends, Tandem is this place for you. And you can find people like me. Hi, my name is Michele. I come from Italy. I speak Italian, English, French, Japanese, and a little bit of German now. Ooh, yeah, finally, like after being in Berlin for a while, I'm finally picking up German. But in general, I'm someone that likes to meet new people and likes to talk about different cultures and different languages. And one of the great things about Tandem is that, again, it supports over 300 different languages. And that means that a couple of more unusual ones tend to show up on the app itself. And today we're going to explore one of those, I'd say, unusual but very fascinating languages. What if I told you that today we're going to explore a language inside the African continent? Specifically, we're going to find ourselves a woman that has found love in a language of Uganda, which is Luganda, that's the name of the language. And not only that, but he managed to learn it all on herself as an adult, and also now has to face with one of the biggest challenging of multicultural households, parenting.
Wow.
So you could say that this woman has lived life between two different places, from her origin in the Netherlands to Uganda. You might even say that she has a life in two countries. So without further ado, let's welcome Jetske from the YouTube channel / TikTok account, My Life in Two Countries.
Thank you so much, guys.
Welcome to the show. I'm very excited to know about your own experiences learning this frankly unexplored language, I would say, or I guess a hidden gem. So, I'm very excited to know more. But
Yeah.
before we go into the language specifics, I think it would be nice to tell a little bit about your personal journey and what you're all about.
You mean my website and stuff, my social media?
That we could keep it for a little bit later on in this.
Okay, yeah.
We're talking about
Or just...
your origin story. Let's call it that.
Okay. Well, I'm Jetske. I am now 34 years old, and I'm born in the Netherlands. I speak Dutch, English, and a little bit Luganda.
A little bit.
And that story is what we are going to talk about, why I speak a little bit Luganda. And in my daily life, I'm a content creator and an editor and a mom.
Ooh, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So, as a Dutch woman, knowing what even Uganda is as a country can be quite unusual. So I would like to ask you, how did Luganda first enter your life?
Well, it started with my minor during my study. I could do my minor abroad. And fun fact, by that time, I couldn't even speak English very well.
Oh.
Yeah. My English was not the best. I've learned it the hard way, the English.
Everybody has to have their vices to learn English at some point.
So yeah, I went to Uganda, and then I met my current boyfriend. So the good thing about Uganda is that they also speak English. They get already at primary school English lessons, because in Uganda there are 42 different languages.
Oh, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yes, yeah. Every part has their own languages, but Luganda is one of the biggest, language in Uganda.
Mhm.
So that's why it's the most common that people speak Luganda.
And why exactly did you choose Luganda as a place to visit, like among all of the other options?
Yeah, it happened actually a little bit by accident. I yeah, I didn't had it in my mind. It's somehow a funny story. I wanted to study at first in England, but then the subject I wanted to study was not really matching, and then I thought, yeah, I still want to go abroad. But I also wanted to go to an English speaking country. And I thought at first I go in Europe, that's safe, etc., etc. But apart from England, all the other countries doesn't speak English. So I had to learn the language anyway. And then I came to a volunteering organization, and I never forget that the man looked at me and he was like, "Yeah, you want to do a project with theater and kids. What if I tell you that we have something like in Uganda?" And I was like, "Uganda? What do I have to do in Uganda?" I was a little bit confused. And by that time, I just had only the movie in my mind, The Last King, about Idi Amin. So I thought, oh, I'm going to a war zone. So I said, oh, is that safe? And he was like, yeah, it's safe. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then I thought, yeah, maybe the flying is more expensive to the country. But once you live there, it's less expensive than, for example, renting a place in England for 3 or 4 months. So I recalculated everything, and then I found out that it cost me the same if I go to Uganda than when I'm going to England. And it was winter period, and I'm not a fan of the winter. And in Uganda there is the sun, so I thought,
Th-
maybe I should go to Uganda.
That's a fantastic choice, especially right now at the time of recording. There's anything but sun. There's just snow everywhere, and it's cold as hell, and makes me want
Mhm.
to go to somewhere that has some a little bit of sun. I have to admit. So it's like I can 100% understand the decision.
Yeah.
Well, what a crazy turn of events, and it seems that this decision was quite the let's just say the important one that kind of shook a little bit about your life.
And
Mhm.
how was it for you with the language? So you said in the beginning you didn't know English so well either. How did you get to learn Luganda then?
Well, actually, I learned it also on my project because I worked with street boys, and most of the street boys couldn't speak English because they learn in the families. You see, most people learn English at school, but those boys, they didn't go to school, um, and so they couldn't speak English very well. So yeah, that was also a little bit forced for me to learn Luganda. And the first word I've learned was ompira, which means football. So sometimes I
Great
just
choice.
shouted. Yeah.
Great
Yeah, but
choice.
the boys loved football, so I was always like, ompira, ompira. I was like, okay.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense that you kind of have to adapt to itself to the culture and to the people there. And at first, it may sound very scary because at least we're gonna talk about this a little bit later because I have no idea what even the Lugandan language even like sounds like or even like it's structured. But it seems like
Mhm.
that a little bit of Luganda became a little bit more than practical. So I wanted to ask you, like, is there a specific point that you can recall where learning Lugandan shifted from being something practical for your project to something that you wanted to personally pursue?
Well, I think it's also all comes with my boyfriend now, and the fact that I had a YouTube channel with, or also a TikTok account with a lot of Lugandan videos. So I also wanted to know what, yeah, I lip sync. And also now we have a baby. She's 7 months, but my boyfriend only speaks Luganda to her. So I also want to understand what he's saying to her, and it's also for me important. There are also two other reasons. One is I want to speak to his family, even though they can speak English. Yeah, it's more easier to speak Luganda, and English is of course the language of the colonizers, right? Colonizers. Because they got, of course, colonized, colonized,
It's colonialized, right?
I guess so.
colonialized.
We can look this up
One of,
afterwards.
one of them must be correct. Okay,
Yes.
it's like
Yeah.
I thought it was colonized.
oh,
but,
I
I
think it
think
is colonized. I think
colonized. I think you are
colo-
right.
but
Colonized. Yeah.
colonized. It's colonialized. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
Colonized.
and the colonizers, I guess.
Yes. Well, they got colonized by the English or the British people. So, and they forced, of course, them to speak that language. And even though they get still English lessons on the primary schools, yeah, it is still a little bit. Yeah, you notice that when you speak Luganda, even if it's just one or two words, people are so happy about it and so thankful that you, as a white person, try to speak their language, which they, yeah, grew up with, their mother language.
Yeah, and it makes a massive difference because when, for example, I got the ability to meet people that know things like 15 languages, 20 languages, 30 languages, and even in that massive list, like Lugandan is not really that represented. So even on that side, it's like not only it's like a truly not that talked about language. So having somebody that for like an actual like personal reasons they were interested in learning it, not just as a way to kind of like show off their skills. It's
Mhm.
definitely something that a lot of other countries can resonate. Even something as simple like, again, sorry if I'm talking about my own country again, Italy, where somebody knows a couple of words of Italian, everybody goes crazy because it's like, why would you learn this language? There's no reason to. So
Yeah.
it's definitely like that feeling of being recognized as a language is a type of feeling that doesn't like that. It's just the best. It's just one of the meanings that you cannot forget.
It is. And maybe now during this episode, we will learn some of the Lugandan words so we can get a connection to people in Uganda too. And for everybody who hasn't heard of the language yet, how would you describe it to them and maybe what makes it special?
Well, it has some little how do you say that? It looks a little bit like Swahili. People who speak Luganda can also understand. It's I think it may a bit the same with Dutch and German. We can understand. We Our languages are not the same, definitely not. But if we speak slowly, we can understand. And it's the same a little bit with Swahili and Luganda. They are definitely not the same, but they can understand each other if they speak slowly. Um, and I've heard as well that Luganda has the same grammar kind of rules as what German has.
Oh, so it has cases.
Yeah.
It has like does it have cases? Does Luganda have cases?
What do you mean with cases?
Okay.
That's the first thing that comes to Michaela's mind.
Yeah, I
thinking
just
about
I just started German. Sorry. I just started
For me, it was
German.
a long
Sorry
time
if I'm
ago
gonna
that
ask about cases, okay?
first lesson of German. Learn the case.
Learn the cases. There's
Nominative,
three genders.
Genitiv, Dativ, Akkusativ.
Yeah, so basically, like in German, you have all of the different cases, like nominative, which is like the subject of a word, a genitive that require like that is of something or of someone, which is the possessive, Then dative is towards something, like, if I'm throwing a mug to somebody or I'm giving a gift to somebody, that's dative. And accusative, if it's like the I could say the Italian word for it, a complemento oggetto, but it's like the object participle. I don't know how to say it in English, I'm gonna be honest.
It's fine.
I could understand in Italian.
Okay. But like my question becomes like that, does it like, because we had on the show, we had somebody that came in that talked about the languages of Nigeria. And the languages of Nigeria are tonal, like similar to Chinese, where the pronunciation of each accent of a word changes the meaning of the word.
That's also in Luganda. Yeah.
Also in Luganda, so it's tonal. Okay. Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Should I teach you already the first biggest mistake that a lot of people make?
Of course, go ahead.
Yes.
You have water
Okay.
and you have shit. And that's the same kind of word.
Uh-oh.
But then now I have to say it correctly. You have amazi, that's water, and amazi, that's shit. And if you say, oh, I can speak a little bit Luganda, then they always say, oh, you know water in Luganda? Oh, tell me. And I'm like, nay. No.
You're not gonna trick me for this one.
No.
It's a different word.
I don't want to make a fool of myself.
Isn't technically recognizing that there's a problem there, technically it means that you already know the language, because if you say like, oh, amasi, I know how to say it, it's like it would expose you immediately. But if you say, I know what you're trying to do, so people were like, this woman knows a little bit.
Yeah.
So it seems like the language is very like tonal. So as a secondary question might come, like, what aspects of Luganda felt the most different between Dutch and English when you first started?
Well, it's for me how I learn a language. For example, English has a little bit, for example, son. It looks a little bit similar to Dutch, but Luganda is totally different words. So it's just repeating to start to learn it. It's not some language that you can just think of a word and like, oh yeah, it was similar to this word. It's totally and words also, somehow the grammar is really easy.
That was my next question. It was about the syntax. Usually all of these tonal languages always say the same thing. Oh, the syntax is very easy, the grammar is very easy, there's no masculine, there's no feminine, there's no plural or anything, but the vocabulary is very hard, or the tones are very hard. Does Luganda fall in that space?
Yeah, it's more indeed the to remember the words, so the vocabulary that to remember the words, and but the grammar is quite easy, because what it is that every word, no, not every word, every oh, I forgot the English word. For example, walking, that's a
Conjugation.
yeah.
And a verb?
Yeah, verb, yes. They have oku in front. So, for example, okugende, and that means going.
Okay. So
And then,
the second that there's oku in front of a verb, you know exactly that is a verb.
yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty sick.
Yeah. So all the verbs starts with oku.
Okay.
And then the oku disappeared. And then you have like we and he, she is the same. So they don't have a he and a she. So they have we, they, he, she, you, and I.
Okay. Okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. The order is kind of
The order is different.
different. So
But there was one less.
one less. Like, because there's they, there's we, there's he.
We can go from the beginning. So
Yeah,
we have
I. Okay.
I,
You.
you,
he and she.
he and she together, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we.
And then we and they.
And
That's it, right?
So there's no you in plural, right?
Yeah, that's also, yeah.
Okay,
And
well,
how does that work though? Like, if I have to talk to a group of people that are in front of me, like, how should I talk to them? Like, should I use the same one for this the second? I'm sorry, I'm kind of confused here.
we can figure it out.
I can,
Like,
if you want,
you
I can
mean
put
he
it
and
in.
she, or
Hmm?
you mean when you talk about he and she, or?
No, I'm talking about, let's imagine that I'm talking to a group of people that are in front of me. Like, you guys are crazy. Let's say, like, you people in front of me are crazy. That
Mhm.
you, how, which party, not particle, but like which person
Conjugation.
Get up
conjugation.
also. Now I have to reprocess it again.
Okay.
Um,
If it
It's
is a
okay,
little,
we can.
yeah, if it's a little bit too much, like putting it on the spot, I will
Yeah.
just put it on the screen. Don't worry, I always do like a check of the language before, and of course it's a language that I don't know of, so I will have to go through a lot of different sources to make sure it's
hmm,
100% perfect. But in
yeah.
case in the moment it doesn't come, it's fine. There's no, like, it being on the spot is quite difficult.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
know at
already
least the we and the I.
okay. Okay, that is
And
already very different from other
yeah.
languages for sure.
Yes.
Mhm.
But we have heard also about something like noun classes and agreement patterns, and that was completely new to me. And so, yeah, what does that mean? Like, what structural features are those with the language?
Yeah, now I also have to reprocess it. The things change, but yeah, that's a little bit the difficult about Uganda. You have Luganda, you have, ooh, I have to say it correctly. I think you have 12 noun classes.
Okay.
And everything belongs in that in a different class. So for but you have also groups. So for example, animals belongs in the same noun class.
Mhm.
Um, but people are also belonging in the same noun class. But for example, house can yeah, it is, that's what also makes it difficult. Sometimes I think, oh, it starts with this, so it's that noun class, and then they say, no, 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 it's not that noun class, it's this noun class.
Oh God.
Oh, because it's an animal. Yeah, but and I'm confused.
And how can I imagine it? Does the word then have like the same ending or beginning or something in the middle that
It's
makes it
indeed the
belong?
same beginning, and the beginning changed as well when you make it plural.
Okay. So a
Okay.
bit
So, for
similar.
example, mango is omuyembe, and when it makes plural, you have a emiyembe, emyembe. Oh, this is really a word. Emyembe,
Mhm.
Okay. So it's
emyembe.
the starting is
Okay,
the
maybe
one
we should check it out.
from
But at
Omu
least
to
it's
Emi.
not
So
omuyembe, but it's so it is the beginning what changed, and
mhm.
that's also when you say that you want, for example, two, or when you want one mango, you can just say omuyembe, because then they know already it's one. So you don't have to say emu omuyembe, because you know already it's one.
Ah, so we don't need the article then.
No articles.
Nice.
Yes.
Tell that to Germany. Tell that to German. No? Sorry, I'm bringing it up. I haven't been that enough. No, I'm joking.
Maybe we need one if it's definite and not indefinite.
Ah,
Mm.
fine,
Who knows?
fine. I'll fact check that as well.
And how would you describe the sound and the rhythm of Luganda?
Ooh, well, it is nice. And yeah, it's almost like a song. Somehow, yeah, now I say something really weird, but somehow it reminds me also about French. It's a
Okay.
little bit a singing language.
Mhm. And are there
So yeah,
any challenges with the pronunciation for you?
yes.
Allah.
And according to my teacher also and my boyfriend, yeah, I still have problems with some pronunciation, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, but I say exactly what you say, but then somehow I don't, yeah, put the right tone on the right letter, and then it's already a wrong word.
Yeah, unfortunately, that this is the major challenge of all tonal languages is that there's not a lot of wiggle room when it comes to the pronunciation. I personally believe that, it's like most tonal languages, you should be able to understand a little bit of context, even if they say the tone wrong. But I know that, like you said before, like a couple of minutes ago, you can have very vastly different meanings when you get the tone wrong. So even if they could understand the context, it's still better to get those pronunciations correct.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things about learning a language, at least for the first time at the beginning, is that you get to learn a little bit of the vocabulary, and sometimes you get to learn a little bit about some specific expressions about Luganda. So I wanted to ask you maybe if you have for us some simple proverbs, maybe expressions that you remember in Luganda that can reveal something about, how the culture of Luganda expresses itself uh, through the language, or you simply some expressions that you hear quite often. Also, that would be good.
Mm. Well, it's really funny because one of those things that I also learned quite quick is when you go on a boda boda, and that is a scooter or motor, I have to say, a taxi motor. And when you go sit on it, you say "Tugende," and that means we go. And an important one, "Empola Empola," because otherwise they drive too fast, and "Empola Empola" means go slow.
Slow down.
So "Empola Empola" was also one of those words I learned, yeah, at first,
Mhm.
because yeah, otherwise the boda bodas go too fast.
I mean, these
And
people.
they are really the language as well is not in Dutch. I'm really used to "Can you come, please?" But in Uganda, you just have "Jangu," and that means "come here."
So it's very like a
So
lot
it's
more direct as a language.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah, it's more direct, more straight. Also, "Together we go," and "Pola Pola go slow." Not "Can you please drive a little bit slower?" No, and "Pola Pola."
so it's very direct. It's very snappy. Very like you don't have to create a bunch of different formalities behind the question. You just say one thing and it gets it done. I like that. I like that. A lot of
Mhm.
more languages could learn from this. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say names. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna do names. I'm not.
Mhm.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. But in general, one question that I wanted to ask as well about the language that maybe people may not figure out at the beginning. Does it have a specific alphabet, or does it still use like the written version of it? Does it have its own? But
Well,
they
they
have
have
still the Latin one.
yeah, they have like the ABC, but they say, fun fact, the same alphabet as what we have in Dutch, A, B, C. But they don't say B, they say they have with every oh, I don't know how to say it in English, but like the B is ba, baby, bo, boo,
The
da, de,
vowels.
di, do, do. That's the whole time with every letter, yeah.
So
And
like
you have like A, A, E, O, U, and U is the U.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, so like their alphabet is in order of vowels, like the
Yeah.
vowel order. Okay. And does it have any special characters, like like a German or like a Swedish, or is it just the same ones?
Um, no, they have the same one, but now I'm thinking I think they had also an N, which was a little bit different. But most of the times where it's just the same. What they do a lot is double letters, so double N, double M. Sometimes a word starts with double B, and then you have to put more power on the B. So ba.
That's sick.
That's what.
I love that. I
That's
love
new
it.
to
That
me.
that's sick. That's it.
Yeah.
Double letters. Such a powerful move. It's a power
Mm,
move because
yeah.
I talk to a lot of people that are from the Eastern European side, and everybody keeps saying about Italian. It's like, oh, like Italian is pretty difficult, but the double consonants is so difficult. I don't understand it. Tell them that you can even start with double consonants and see what their reaction
Mm.
is. That's
Unfortunately, I hear my child crying, so I'm going to pick her up for a quick. Okay?
no worries.
Okay.
No worries.
Okay. Kan je ook even hallo zeggen?
Hello.
Hallo! Wie zijn die mensen?
She's interested in joining the podcast as well. How does it feel to talk as a baby?
To talk as a baby.
You know, language is sick.
How is it for you growing up bilingually?
Well, equally.
Yeah, wow.
Well,
It's so funny because sometimes my boyfriend talks, of sometimes he talks always Luganda to her, and then I'm like confused. I'm like, oh, can she understand this? But of course she will because I speak Dutch to her as well.
Yes, so
So she
maybe
will learn.
we are like exaggerating a bit now with English, which is a third language for her. So
Yeah, but she will hear that as well because at home my boyfriend and I speak English to each other.
Oh, I
yeah,
see.
okay.
So she will already learn 3 languages.
Maybe you can speak in German, I can speak in Italian.
Ooh.
Mirta, you can speak Greek. So we can give her like a big salad of.
Also languages.
So she learns German, Italian, and the Dutch.
And then she can pick the favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. Learning Lugandan, it can be quite a bit of a challenge, I would assume. A lot of bumpy roads, a lot of like very different experiences compared to your average language learning journey. So I wanted to kind of give a little bit more of a spotlight on the techniques and the language process itself. So I wanted to ask you, like, what did your language learning process actually look like in the very beginning?
Well, at first it was more focused on words, just learning basic words. It was more thank you, yeah, come here, the words I already taught you. And now, and I'm still busy with it, it's learning more making sentences. So I can really say like, can I have a mango, please? Or yeah, I'm Jetske, that kind of stuff.
So
But it
vocabulary
started at
comes
first.
first.
Sorry?
Vocabulary is the first thing that usually gets taught, right?
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
This is interesting. Not a lot of like a lot of there's every time that we go here on the podcast, there's a lot of debates whether which technique works best. If people want to learn vocabulary first, maybe some people like learning all the rules first. Some people were like, I don't know, figure it out. I don't know.
Maybe the difference here is too that there's not such an abundance of like language learning resources with Luganda. So that would be interesting for us as well. Like, how did you deal with the fact that there are not so many resources that you could learn a Lugandan, for example, with textbooks or apps, like in more widely taught languages?
Yeah, well, that's actually still a struggle for me because I am that kind of person. How did I learn English? By doing, but also by watching a lot of movies, reading books in English, that kind of stuff, or indeed using apps to learn the language. But that is, yeah, it's really little with Luganda, and even when it's there, it's also always hard to find the right Lugandan words because I have now a teacher, for example, and sometimes she even taught me what a student is in Luganda, and then I hear my boyfriend and he's like, "Yeah, we just say the English word student. We never use that word."
Oh, interesting.
So that's also happening a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some even Luganda people don't know words in Luganda. Sometimes I ask my boyfriend, like, what is this word in Luganda? And he's like, yeah, we don't have that.
Oh, okay. So you just default to English, I would assume, like as a
Yeah.
idea. Oh, interesting.
And together with your teacher, do you use any textbook or how does she teach you?
No, it's more online, and she gives me sometimes some papers or something, but not really a textbook. I have now 4 books, which are really kid books. So we read it also for her.
Oh.
So she can also, of course, have some nice stories. And there are now more and more YouTube channels with, for example, kids cartoons in Luganda.
Okay, so at least there's a little bit of a progress when it comes to Lugandan representation and in
Yeah.
media. That's great to hear because it's something that a little bit of a spoiler for a future episode, or actually no, it's gonna be never mind. It's a future recording, but when it's gonna come out, it's not future because it comes out before. So it's a whole bit of nice. But there are definitely like some organizations that are dedicated into giving some resources, spotlights to languages that aren't as widely known, and like Lugandan, I think, is one of them. I guess my advice for you is that if you want to get yourself a nice Lugandan refresh, you can go to medical Wikipedia pages, because those, I can assure you that all of those, or like most of them, are going to be written in Lugandan. And I know that from insider information. But
Oh,
Okay.
but yeah,
I didn't
so
know that. So that's pretty cool.
yeah, I'm not 100% sure which ones, but there are organizations that they spent years taking all of these medical elements for, they're mostly for crisis reasons, but they went through all of these languages that aren't as represented, so people that are doing volunteering there can explain to them the medical issues. So that's my piece of recommendation as a non-Lugandan Luganda speaker. But I think it was very interesting when I learned about it. So
Yeah.
I think what is quite nice in your case here, that it's kind of co-learning with mother and daughter. Does it also help you stay motivated, or do you have other reasons to stay motivated if progress seems like slow or unsteady?
Yeah, well, it's indeed definitely helping me as well. And sometimes when my boyfriend says something to our daughter, then I'm like, "Oh, what do you say now?" And then he said, "Oh, I mean this and this and this." So yeah, that helps as well. And we found one cartoon for her, and he was putting it on because she was really crying and she wanted to see something. And I was watching it, and I was like, "Oh, maybe I should watch this cartoon just by myself." Because it helps me as well, and I could understand more than I thought.
oh, that's so
But
cute.
it was also, yeah, it is with children cartoons. You see an elephant, and they say, "Ooh, Njovu," yeah, Njovu. So I know then, oh yeah, elephant and Njovu. That's what's helping me as well, and that's sometimes what I miss when you only see words. When you have the cartoon, you see, yeah,
That
you
happens.
see what they say, yeah.
That happens to me with ads. I watch ads, like, since I'm in Germany. I watch ads in German, and he's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, that means sale, right?" It's like, no, it doesn't. Okay.
No, it's
Mhm.
fine. I was just laughing how like the new generation is
I know it's not the new generation. It's just
like,
me.
okay.
I don't
Well,
think a lot
I
of
think in German, they also, how do you say that? Synchronize the movies, right?
the
Yeah.
dub
We have a lot of American movies or English spoken movies, which are German spoken.
Yeah. And I do it all the time. I
Yeah.
mean, that's why I, as a kid, never watched any movie in English. It was just normal to watch them in German.
Yeah. And I
I
think
found it so interesting that they have like a German Brad Pitt who always do the Brad Pitt roles.
true in
That
Italy
that
as
was
well.
when I found that out. I was like, wow. But they
Yeah.
have the same in Italy as well. That
Yeah.
they
Yeah, they dub a lot of movies in Italy. There's an entire like subsection, subculture of famous voice actors that always do the same actors. Always, oh, I always do Tony Stark. I always do every character that is like an animal, or if there is like a cute, fluffy animal, it's always going to be done by the same person, because I don't know, he has a talent for that. But so I guess I mean in Luganda, it's probably going to be difficult. But is it that problem also for Dutch? Do Dutch not dub their movies, or
no, they just put subtitles.
really? Oh my
I've learned
god.
how to read very fast.
Oh, yeah.
And that's also the reason why you learn English, because nowadays I rarely read the subtitles, but I still watch the movie. But when I have then a movie in France or Italy, Italian, or in German, then I realize after like a few minutes already, like, okay, I don't follow the movie because I have to read really what they say.
I see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
But
good
in
way to
English, yeah,
learn. Like
just
I've been doing the same system for French movies, like for a long time, watching the English with a French subtitle. So it's not like completely like waste of time to learn languages. It can be still pretty useful to have
Mhm.
those subtitles. So they're handy. They're pretty handy. But I would probably do the opposite if I was myself, like in the language or in your language and the subtitles written in the language that you're trying to speak, not the opposite. But
Mhm.
you know, so you got a lot of opportunities to share some a little bit of bonding on your language journey, not only for yourself but also with your really cute daughter. So I wanted to ask you like about more of the parenting side, because it's a type of topic in the more the languages that doesn't really get explained much. A lot of people coming onto the show, they talk about their own skills, their own language, their
Mhm.
own development. So is I wanted to ask you, in your opinion.
I think she wants to answer
She wants to
already.
answer. Okay,
Yeah,
what about you? Okay. How has Luganda shaped your family life and daily communications at home?
Well, what we do is that he is only speaking Luganda to her, and I'm only speaking Dutch to her. But of course, when he speaks Luganda to her, I sometimes ask what it means, and I try not to speak Luganda with her or when she's there. Because I've heard also that as long as it's not your mother language, then you should speak the mother language to your child. Otherwise she learns it wrong. And the same is with him. He's now learning Dutch, but he doesn't speak Dutch to her. He only speaks Luganda to her, and a little bit of English because Luganda is already mixed with English. But yeah, I think thanks to her, I'm more focused as well. Oops, I'm more focused as well on learning the language and also understanding it better. When he's saying things to her, I'm like, oh yeah, you're saying now this to her, or you're making jokes, or yeah. Of course, it's more easier when he speaks it to her than to his family.
And talking about the family, like, what does it mean for you that your daughter learns Luganda now? Like, how is it connected for her? And do you live in the Netherlands or in Uganda at the moment? Maybe that's an important information too.
At this, I see. By the way, the screen is sometimes not. I think the connection is not really sharp. Now we are back, so
Okay.
I hope it was good recorded.
But you can hear us?
Yeah. You
Okay,
could
that's
hear
the
us.
most important part.
Yeah, because about the video, little side tangent, we have a secondary recording going on for our screen. So if it goes blank on our side, I can just replace it. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Now that I just wanted to warn you.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
no, thank you. Thank you so much.
No, we live now at the moment in the Netherlands. But for me, it's important that she can speak to both families, that she can speak to both grannies in Dutch or Luganda. Because for me, it's not that one language is better than the other one, or one country is better than the other one. Oh, so it's for me, it's both important, and yeah, I want her to learn both languages.
Okay, and it's really nice that you will be able then to talk to both families in both languages. How is it for
Mhm.
you? How do you keep such a minority language in a country where it's not spoken? How do you keep the progress? Maybe other than that the father talks to her in this language.
Mm. Well, it's to be honest, it's really hard. And I really want to go back to Uganda because, like I said, also with the English, you learn it the hard way. I miss sometimes that I just go to the market and I can just practice, even when I have to bring my phone with notes with me to say, oh yeah, what is tomato, what is avocado, that kind of stuff, and then just practice a lot. So it's quite hard. I try to keep on going and sometimes read Lugandan books for myself, the baby books, and and also watching the cartoons helps as well. But yeah, it is really hard. I think the best way to learn a language is to be it's to be in that country, or to be a baby and have a daddy who speaks the language. That's also a really good way to learn a language.
It's a good wake-up call.
Yeah.
And I mean, the baby can tell us a little bit. I'm joking. Can tell us a little bit about another question that I had was like, has the action of learning Lugandan changed the way that you think about language as our own identity or belonging?
Well, I think indeed, for me, it's also a form of respect to speak someone's language. I had it already for my whole life. Also, for example, what you're saying about Italy. When I'm going on holiday on Italy, I just learn only good morning, good evening, thank you, just the basics. You don't have to speak fluently one language, but just hello, goodbye, thank you. That's already enough to show people that you appreciate their country, that you want to try at least to speak a little bit. And I have the feeling that people all around the world are much politer to you when you at least try, because French has the name that they are arrogant, and when you start in English, they don't want to talk to you. But I never experienced that. But also because I always start with bonjour, and then I ask parler anglais, and then I start in English. Because those are the only three words I know.
It's funny. I have a specific direct example of this. Like, oh, you have to speak French because while I was living in the southern part of France, that little like tidbit or stereotype, like, oh, they treat you badly if you don't know French. It's technically not that correct. What I would say, it's different. It's like see you if you're trying to speak French to them and you don't are not that good at it. They see you like as an adorable animal at the zoo.
Okay.
Because when I was starting to do French, and I would go to my tabac and ask for a package that arrived to me, and I would say in French, they were like, "Oh my goodness, that's so nice. I don't understand what you're saying, but that's adorable that you're trying." So, and that would kind of took me off because I always told, "Oh, if you don't know French, you're toast. They're not even gonna look at you." Uh,
Mm,
Maybe someone in Paris had that experience once, but in the southern part,
mm.
it's not. It's more adorable. But yeah, I mean, you still need to know French. That
But I
constant is still
agree on
constant.
you as well.
Yeah.
And I think in every language, even though in Luganda or in Uganda that they know a lot of English, I notice already that once you speak Luganda, they have way more. They will laugh like, "Oh, she knows Luganda," but they find it funny, and they even call friends around like, "Oh, she speaks Luganda," and I'm like, "Oh, I only say webale, which means thank you." But yeah, then they are already so happy, and that's, I think it means more to speak someone's language than people think.
Yes, it does make a, like I said, it makes a phenomenal, like a very massive impact for like listening
Mhm.
languages. A lot of like for people talking English or French, they don't quite like understand this sort of impact because they are kind of expected to be learned by a lot of people. But the second, like for example, even for Armenian, in my case, the like if I say one word to the local Armenian nun that lives near my house, the fact that I can even try to say one word, it's already like it does a lot of job. That's part of
Mm.
a lot of things. And speaking of different languages, like let's now we explored a lot about Lugandan as a language, but I want to go a little bit more broader as we approach the end of the show.
Mhm.
So, what would you recommend for someone that wants to learn a language that, like Lugandan, doesn't really have a lot of resources available?
Sorry, what I can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
So, let's take it a little bit more beyond just Lugandan as a language. Let's talk about a little bit more. What's the word for it?
Abroad.
Abroad,
Yeah.
I guess. What would you recommend for somebody that kind of like Luganda and wants to learn a language, it doesn't really have a lot of online resources or available methods of learning.
So which language I would recommend?
No. What would you recommend as a general, like,
Oh, how to learn.
yeah, like how to learn, what sort of techniques would you use? Not necessarily for
Move there.
Ugandan, but Hmm?
That's my
Okay.
move to that country and
move.
move.
Even if you don't know the language, just move.
Yeah, just go there. No, yeah, well, it helps indeed when you move there, and you have to you have to use that in your daily life. A partner who speaks that language helps also a lot.
Yeah,
Uh,
a partner, a language exchange partner, maybe.
that's also possible. For example, using the Tandem app, then you can also help each other out with learning each other's languages.
Yeah, it makes a lot of difference because in that case, also you find people that are actively trying to help you out with the language. Because yeah, moving is a
Mhm.
fantastic way for sure. It is still like not their, like if you go to the market to do exercises in Ugandan, the people that are there speaking in Luganda aren't necessarily going to be 100% willing to help you out with the minimal pronunciation. They just want to do their
Mhm.
jobs.
Yeah.
So finding a place where you can find people that not only are interested in learning your language, but they're actively trying to correct things, to sit down with you and do like these one-on-one sessions or go in language parties if you're looking for something more chaotic and more like a group.
Mm.
That's it.
Not only
That's what I like
chaotic.
about
Not only, you only, but then sorry, not chaotic, but in general, like it's something more like group based.
Yeah.
It's just
Mhm.
nice to have this as a resource, and even for
Yes.
not as represented languages, it could be very valuable because it really does unlock all of the potentials of a language.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think what helps as well with the Tandem app is when you indeed move
yeah,
and you can also find people in your neighborhood, then you not only can make friends or connections, but you have indeed someone in the neighborhood who can help you out and wants to help you out.
yeah, sure. And it's fantastic because you can do both. That's the great thing. Like you can choose, no matter what your objective is, you could say like if you're just there to, if you want to meet people, if you just want to be at your home just learning for fun, like you get all of the options into one place, and I think that's beautiful.
Mhm.
Such a fantastic way.
And this is how we already come to the last question of today's episode. So, if people remember one thing about African languages or specifically Luganda, what would you hope it would be?
That it's good to put effort in it. So you not only speak the language that they had to speak by force, but you also speak their mother language and can connect better, and brings you on an whole another level of that specific African country. Oh, pardon.
I think those words are very like powerful, and I think this is something that a lot of people who are listening in can take for granted. Not for granted, they can take as a lesson when learning any language, even outside of Luganda, honestly. But and I want them to remember this because it is something that really is important with any language. Is that languages aren't just like little fun. Like you can make it for fun, sure, but it takes effort. Just like exercising, it takes effort. Just like learning a skill, it takes effort. So I really want them to remember. Look at it. Look at the camera. I don't know. Put on camera. Put the effort in, and you're gonna do great. You're gonna do great. And thank you again so much for these words, because I guess we can say that it has been a fantastic episode of the Connected by Language podcast. Thank you so much, Jetske, for being part of this.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I really love to join this podcast.
Yeah, and it's always a nice time to be able to meet creators and meet like language learners everywhere. And for the people that are now falling in love with Lugandan as a language, is there somewhere like some projects or some channels that they could contact you on or like reach you on?
Yeah, I'm. How do you say that? My channel is My Life in Two Countries. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and you can always slide in my DM or send me an email.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really suggest you guys watch the videos because it's a very like nice set of like understanding what how a family with this very interesting background functions, because it's not a type of family that you see every day, but it's something that is also very interesting. At least I had a lot of fun when watching all of the videos. I started watching all of them, but
Thank you so much.
yeah. But again, thank you all so much for watching this episode of the Connected by Language podcast. If you like the video, please give it a like. And if you want to see more videos like this one, you can either subscribe to us if you're watching from us on YouTube, or follow us if you're on any other program like Amazon Music, Spotify, etc. Have you guys been into Luganda? I haven't, but maybe you have. And if you have, like, drop it a little bit of a comment below. And also, you can do that on Spotify now. So no cheating this time. You can actually comment on Spotify too. It's a new thing. But in general, thank you all so much for watching this episode of The Connected by Language. I've been your host, Michele, and I've been joined by my co-host.
Michelle.
And where are we going to go next? I don't know. Do you know? Well, to find out, you better stay tuned for a new episode of the Connected by Language podcast. So I guess, bye-bye.
See you next
See you
time.
next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.